Chapter 55, The Roaring Twenties. Some called the decade of the 1920s the Roaring Twenties. Some called it the Jazz Age, and some called it the Dance Age. Whichever you choose, it seems like a time of fun and change. More people had more money than ever before, and mostly they were intent on having a good time. Hardly anyone seemed to worry that some people were left out of the prosperity boom. In 1919, before the 20s began their roar, women's ankles sometimes could be glimpsed beneath long skirts. Those ankles, however, were modestly hidden beneath high top shoes. The skirts started going up, up, and up. That made it a tough time to be a parent of a girl. It wasn't easy to be a girl then either. Most young women were cutting their hair short. They called it bobbing. Some parents wouldn't allow it. Short hair seemed indecent to the older generation, but up to the minute to those who up to the minute to those who did it. The girls who weren't allowed to cut their hair felt old-fashioned. In the Roaring Twenties, women like this flapper, dressed for a day at the beach, began to assert their individual freedom, both in their dress and their actions. Over here, we have a 1920s couple does the popular new dance called the Charleston. All right, some daring women were wearing bathing suits that left their legs uncovered. Police arrested women on the beach for doing that. In makeup, nice women started wearing lipstick, rouge, and powder. The older generation worried, what is the world coming to? Those girls who bobbed their hair and wore short skirts and lipstick were called flappers. They did other things too. They drove automobiles, got jobs, went to movies, read romantic novels, played ping pong, and danced. My, did they dance! It was a big thing in the 20s, and the big dance was the Charleston. In New York City, Gimbel's department store advertised special Charleston dresses that swung loose on your body. The price was $1.58. When you danced the Charleston, you swang your arms, kicked up your heels, and knocked your knees together and moved frantically. Frantic is a good word to describe the 20s. The idealism of the Wilson years seemed to have come to nothing. After the war, everything was supposed to be better, but anyone could see that it wasn't. And there was the prohibition idea. Americans wanted to have a good nation where all people behaved themselves and didn't get drunk, but that wasn't working either. If you read the newspapers, you could see that the criminals were becoming rich and powerful selling liquor. So a lot of Americans in the 20s figured that the best thing to do was to forget about ideals and have a good time frantically. It was a materialistic age. People concentrated on making money and buying things for themselves. Successful people, business people, became national heroes. There were more rich people than ever before in American history, but no one seemed to notice, however, that there were also growing numbers of unemployed people, people who were desperately poor, and many farmers who were in terrible trouble. But for most Americans, the time seemed good. The stock market, like the women's hems, went up and up and up. Land values boomed. People were able to buy things they could never buy before. In 1920, the car was a novelty. 10 years later, almost every family had a car. Many Americans who didn't have indoor toilets in their homes had motor cars in their yards. The automobile was becoming a necessity. Take a look at that chart over there, 1919 to 1929, the growth of automobiles. Before the war, life had been slow paced. Now change was coming with cyclone speed. Ordinary people owned radios and listened to comedy shows and the nightly news. In Florida in 1924, a schoolboy named Red Barber heard heard radio for the first time at a friend's house. Barber was so excited he stayed up most of the night listening to the news from around the nation. It was a new experience. A man in Pittsburgh said it was snowing there. Someone sang in New York. A banjo plunked in Chicago. It was sleeting in New Orleans. Red Barber later became a radio sports broadcaster. By the late 1920s, many Americans owned cars. The automobile sped up the pace of American life.